everyone.
Hello.
How have you been?
Very well.
How was your week?
Very good.
Week.
How was yours?
It was great. So, shall we revise on what we did last week?
Yes.
Do you remember any of it?
We found out 6 baselines.
Okay.
And then I think, what did we do after that? You were supposed
We
to
did
call me up and remind me by the
expression,
way.
I'm so sorry, I got so caught up. We did that expression where our baselines are being expressed, not being expressed.
Okay. And what did you learn out of it, guys? Could you please?
That it starts.
That if you take decisions through your baselines, aligned to your baselines, then normally will be good decisions, and then normally you will be happy and successful. And if they're not aligned to your baselines, normally it will put you in an unhappy zone.
Yes, I think what, just adding on, it exposes why we feel happy at times doing something and why we feel unhappy at times doing or not doing something.
So now
I think this is basically what was the core. And maybe unconsciously or consciously through the week, once or twice when you are feeling elated or slightly down, did it try? I was trying to indicate at the back of my mind. Is it hitting something?
Yeah.
It just was happening.
No, actually it happened. I did it when I was not happy, probably for not working well. Then I was thinking, is it aligned to my baseline? And then I was realizing, okay, yes, no, whatever. But when I was happy, I was not bothered.
Okay. So this gives you proof that the system is actually working.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Of course it is.
It does.
It does. And now you're able to actually realize, without understanding you should use
At times, yes.
Yeah. But as you keep on, practicing this, you will get it. It will be more helpful. Okay. So let's start off today with what we call integrated power coding. Let me just elaborate a little bit on that. What is IPC? That is integrated power. The incredible
I thought it was the Indian code.
Well, in this case, it is integrated power coding. The incredible works deep in your mind to shift blockages that prevent you from moving ahead. Integrated power coding is a process that helps you understand how you have been coded and how to remove negative coding that you may have never been aware of. Over time, thoughts can become codes, and these codes are the meaning we give the world we live in. Like baselines, your coding motivates you, it inspires you, and can even crush you. You integrate your codes without even realizing. They will be collected over time from your family, friends, social media, TV, etc., and from your experiences as well. It is usually easier to change a code when it is to radically change a baseline. Okay, what I meant was it's easier to change a code than to radically change a baseline. And because coding happens as a result of interpreting an event or situation at a specific point of time. So, let me just elaborate on this a little bit. Baselines, as we had already discussed in the previous sessions, that baselines are something that cannot be changed. It is something that you've grown up with over time and that has been a part of your system now. But codes, lucky for us, can be changed. So whether it's positive or negative, whatever you want is up to you. You can change it as per your, liking. Okay, so codes can be changed, and I'll just give you an example. Like codes, there are basically two types of codes. One is the N codes, and the other one is E codes. Now, N codes stand for negative codes. Those codes that have been inside of you and that are not helping you out in any way. Okay? Because we make a lot of our decisions based on these codes. Okay, we will learn as we go forward. And these are the N codes are the ones which will not support you in any way. Whereas the E codes are the ones that help you out with, everything. So let me just read this out. The types of fundamental codes. Power codes can be divided into two major types, that is the N codes and the E codes. N codes, these codes usually end up with an answer or statement that makes you feel awkward. Okay? For example, I never do anything right. Everyone is always against me and stuff like that. E codes, on the other hand, these codes usually end up with an answer or statement that is empowering or gives you a drive and strength. Okay? Like, I am strong enough to always find a way. I never quit because I am a winner. The majority of people have no idea how they are coded, and they don't have a clue what's running in the background of their minds. They can't see the real direction is given by the E codes and N codes. We can define our codes and eliminate all N codes that destroy us. If your baselines are clear, you have no idea. If your baselines are clear, you have no idea how you're coded, then you will not understand why things don't work out. You will have mood swings, angry outbursts, and even depression. When codes and baselines are not aligned, then you can try working hard for the rest of your life and nothing will stay permanent. So the whole point of this is that even if your baselines are in place, even if you have identified your baselines, if you don't move ahead to the next step, that's identifying your codes, you will not go far. It's not going to help you, the system will be not good. So it's, as I mentioned, it's a step-by-step process. This is what comes next. After the baselines, we have to identify what our codes are. I'll give you a little example on this. Events that changed everything. As a child, we often experience events or see things that define what you believe about the world. These beliefs are called codes. What makes the event important is not the intensity, greatness, or the significance of the event itself, but the importance you have given it by unconsciously forming a lifelong belief or set of beliefs around the event. Most of adults have at least 5 or 8 defining moments. So, when we think about codes, we think about events that happen in our lives. And those don't have to be, major, huge events. There can be small incidences, in your day-to-day life. And those can help you form codes, whether positive or negative. Okay? So, this is how it is. I'll give you an example. Defining moments. Ravi's brother shouted at him in front of his friends. The code form is, he always embarrasses me in front of my friends. Another one of the example is, Sheila's teacher shouted at her in school for doing the homework wrong. She called Sheila an idiot. Sheila formed the code that she was not good enough, and she will never match up to the expectation of the teacher. There's another one. In spite of bad results, John's father praised him on his efforts he had put for the final exam, and the code that was formed was the decision to increase his efforts even more to make his dad proud of him. Isn't that beautiful?
Very good.
So these are the few examples that I've given you. Next, we will go on to collect the evidence that strengthens our code. So, this is how it works. The thing is that, once you have formed a code, the brain will help you give you evidence to support that code, so that it gets stronger and stronger inside you. Okay? So this is what is explained and elaborated here. I'm just going to read it out. Once you have formed a code, your brain will start hunting for evidence to prove its truth, so that you can hold on to it. Okay? Sometimes the brain will make things appear the way you want them to. So the codes constantly get evidence confirm it's true. This is where codes get integrated. Okay? So the brain supports you. Whether it's good or bad, it will always provide you with, evidence that this is how it is. Imagine a seedling, you plant it and start to water it. You have a choice to water it with nutrients or with slow killing poison. The more you water it, the more the code gets integrated to confirm the code. If you pour nutrient water over the poison seedling, it will not believe it had nutrients. It will believe it's not worthy and kill the power of the nutrients. This is how it is. You can change the past, but you can't change the past, but you can change your interpretation of the past. And you can reintegrate your codes to power codes, serve, support, nurture, and challenge it if you choose to. So we have an activity after this, wherein it is called as letting go and holding on. Okay? In this activity, you are required to come up with events such as positive events. Like, you have you have to list down 5 major events, defining moments that created a massive impact on your life. So 2 of them have to be negative and 3 of them have to be positive. Okay? And then there are a set of questions that are given which you need to answer after that. Okay? So I would want you to just go through it and do the activity. And I hope it is going to take you all right.
You tell us about 15
to 20 minutes, I guess, will be fine.
Yes.
So please go ahead and do it. Are we done?
Yes.
Lydia, are we done?
Yes.
Okay, now let's get on to the activity. I would want you to share, the 2 of you, what you have come up with in this activity.
Okay, I'll start with the positive one.
Sure.
See, we were being brought up at a time where everything was set. You listen to a particular type of music, you listen to a particular, you look at a particular type of films, you read given books, these are books for adults, these are books for children. That sort of compartmentalization is very strong. So we had Tagore songs, and we had good old Hemant Kumar and Pankaj Malik and all these people singing what were known as the modern songs. Now, I think this was probably I was in class 8,
Okay.
1969 or 67, 68. Across the road, a new family had shifted and they had got what was coming up. The good old gramophones were getting replaced by record players.
Okay.
And shellac discs, if you've heard of them, 70 vacuum discs. The good old gramophone and the
Oh yeah,
thing,
the
pin, yeah.
which are very fragile. They were getting replaced by what is known today as the vinyls.
Okay.
So the guy across had purchased one and then used to play naturally, show off what it is to be got. And 2 or 3 songs sounded totally different. Totally. If these were in a particular genre, you feel that this is sounds that you've not heard.
Okay. Okay.
And gradually, as his repertoire was getting increased, this time during the pujas was the time new discs used to come out. Puja songs used to come out. And they were distinctly different. That attracted me to that particular song. So I found later, trying to understand, we didn't have Google to go and see what is happening. So friends and other people we tried to find out, and it was that one particular person was creating all the different sounds.
Okay. Okay.
And that sounded nice to me. And I was not a particularly musically inclined person. But I started investigating, and probably creativity is trying to break the boundaries is what set in, and that probably has triggered creativity crack which probably was there. That you try out different, you go out of the box and do things differently. There is success at the end of it. That trying to make a difference by being creative is probably set in.
Wonderful discovery, Rahul. Seriously, wasn't it? Okay, and negative.
Negative, basically, it's an experience that I still shudder. My father had two major operations in one single time.
How old?
I was born in class 7.
Quite young.
Yeah, before this shift of house and all that was happening. And I got to see on Sundays only, they were strict those days, only on Sundays children were allowed to visit hospitals.
Okay.
So on a Sunday we went in the evening and I saw him there with the tube here and the tube here. He was okay. Mother and my uncle were discussing, it's fine, he'll probably release in 2 days. But that vision, because I've never seen him live, number one, number two, the tubes. What hit me was, if I remember now, looking at the needles that were pinching, and I was suddenly feeling the pain.
Oh my God.
And I blacked out because of the pain. I somehow felt the pain inside me and I blacked out. So it was a very, very negative and disturbing moment. And the fear of hospitals, dread of hospitals, was the immediate impact. Doctors and hospitals.
So you read hospitals. That's your.
That was the immediate impact that came.
And the quote that was formed first.
Hospitals are bad.
What about you, Lydia?
So I'll share one of my positive defining moments. Is when I was 27 years of age. I had won the Secretary of the Year contest for West Bengal.
Okay.
So I had shared last time that my career actually started as a secretary. You thought I was very loud. Oh, my career.
You can always be louder.
Oh, okay. My career started as a secretary, and I was 27 years old when there was this contest called the Secretary of the Year contest, and I participated, and I won the contest. Okay, and it was a defining moment for me because it was one of the successes that I had, one of the successes that I had seen in my life. Because before that, it was always very struggle. Of course, landing a job with a foreign bank was a success, but probably I was too young or I was too confused to even appreciate that. But when I won the contest, it's like I realized that I have some material in me and I can do it. And from there my journey started, and I became more confident. I was always very talkative. The talkative does not give you confidence. Then I became a little more confident, and this winning the contest empowered me a lot to take on challenges ahead. And so the thought that I formed then was, with preparedness and confidence, you can achieve anything you do.
Wow.
That's
Great.
So that was one of my big defining moments. It gave me that boost. Because from there on, it was more looking back. Okay. And my negative defining moment was when I was 16 years old. I studied in a boarding school, and I had just finished my class 10 at 16, and I had joined my 11 and 12. So because those days we were like really struggled life, we didn't have like a proper home. So my school was very kind. The nuns were very kind, and they had agreed to keep me in the school. No, I was in that boarding school. I studied there till class 10, but for 11 and 12 I had to go to another school. Okay, because my school didn't have 11 and 12. So I didn't have like a proper place to stay. So the nuns were very helpful. They were okay to keep me there. So I started my 11 and 12 in school, and of course all of us who passed out from the school were also in that new school. But everybody came from their respective homes. Even the girls who were boarders have now become day scholars because there's no more boarding. So they were all day scholars, but I didn't. So I had to stay here. So I was like a boarder, but going to another school, and it was very far. In the morning, somehow managed to go in the bus. Okay, but in the evening, like I had to walk back because financially also it was very difficult to even afford a bus ticket. And I used to get tiffin from school, but you know how it will, because they're giving me tiffin at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I was eating it at whatever 11:30, and then by the time I was coming back to school, because my school gave over at about 2:30, 2:45, so by the time I'm walking and coming, right? By the time I came back to my school or to my home, which was my boarding, it used to be very late, like it used to be about 3:30, 4:45. So I'm having lunch then. And boarding school lunch has become like really cold and not nutritious enough. So I got TB. Okay. At 16, so I had to leave my school and come home to my parents in whatever we had then. And in tuberculosis, you have to eat a lot of good food. Now that was the challenge. Okay, good food was the challenge for us. Medicines were okay because you had to be treated, and the government, that tuberculosis or whatever, that they had some medical thing, and those days.
It was tuberculosis relief society of India.
Something like that, and it was like nearly a year-long treatment. In the first 90 days, I got injections, both arms, every day, and the medicines, but you have to be supplemented by food. But I was, in a way, God was very kind. He's always been very kind. Okay, so there were people who were coming to see me, and like that, kind of, we got some extra food. Okay, lunch, dinner, whatever we could. Because my father died very early, we didn't have anything. My brothers were still struggling. My father died in such a way that everything just fell apart. So it was not planned properly. So my brothers were also not ready, to kind of take on the field. So we had a very big struggle. And but the person that I am, very determined, went through the whole course. I'm a very obedient child. Okay, so I went through the whole course. Year-long course, medicines, injections, and food from people who loved me and came to see me and whatever. So I recovered, but I lost out on my school, college. I caught up. I could not go back to normal school, so I went back to correspondence university, and I did like my 11 and 12 correspondingly. I went into a secretarial course, and that's how I became a secretary, because in our time, that was the easiest job to get, to become a secretary, and that's all we dreamt of. You either became a doctor, or a lawyer, or a teacher, or a secretary. There was nothing in between.
There's one more thing.
Yeah.
Telephone operator.
Yes, so telephone operator, and I learned that in my course, but I hated that. I hated typing as well. I hated everything because I thought it was, but that's how it kind of gave me that. I learned, and
So I think whatever end mode you might have known, you're over it now.
Yeah, then my end mode was like it's a curse to be poor, and because that end mode was so strong, I've achieved what I've achieved today. Yeah, because now it's wiped completely.
Wow, that's
completely wiped out.
Wonderful. So, seriously, both of you deserve a round. So it was nice to listen, to hear from you guys, and I think both of you have shared, and we'll move on to the next session.